What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Next Wave podcast, episode 63. I'm one of your hosts, B. Zanny, joined by my co-host, D. Woody. And today we're going to be talking some COD, some Rocket League, and then obviously rounding it up with our coin segment, Pick and Ban. So make sure to stay tuned to the very end. Let's get right to it. All right, kicking us off with another weekly question. Before you do so, though, Dak, how you doing?
Doing good.
How we feeling?
Doing good. Still grossly addicted to Counter-Strike right now, and Rocket League, and that's pretty much what I've been on. Waiting on Elden Ring Night Rain. GTA 6 got delayed, so this year's open season for developers to drop more games.
You know what else I saw got delayed today? Not that it's like something we're looking forward to, but that Captain America Black Panther game. Do you ever remember seeing that?
Did not know that was a thing.
Oh, yeah. It's like they're beefing. Like it's like a video game where they story game where they beef or some shit.
I got beef with both of them in Marvel Rivals. They're both annoying to deal with.
Both divers, little dive
especially
boys.
Cap. He just runs circles around your team and laughs at you.
And doesn't die. Yeah. He just looks at you while you shoot him.
Yeah, you don't even see Black Panther. You just see like a blur across your screen and you're dead. Yeah,
you just took damage and there's a black blur and you're like,
you hear the little like boom boom sound that he makes. Oh, I hate that.
Yeah,
I hate that.
Yeah, this shit's so annoying. I hate playing against BP. Yeah. But anyways, go ahead. What's the question of the day here?
Yeah, so if you could be a hero in any video game universe, which would you choose and why?
I'm assuming this is like actual characters, like not like
just like if you lived the life of a character in that universe, but you're
so like games where you customize your character.
No, it doesn't have to be that. It could be Halo, COD. It could be anything.
I'm saying the ones where you make a character to create don't count. Like I feel like those shouldn't count because you're not. Okay.
I'm saying you lived that shit.
Okay. Dang, this is tough. I haven't thought about it at all. So
I mean, you could be Master Chief.
I know that's the first person I thought of.
Low key, that's a hard life.
That's the right one.
That's a hard life.
No, that's a tough life.
They expect you to take out an entire army alone.
Oh my god, I'm trying to go through all these games, bro.
Hey, it could be like GTA.
That's what I was thinking. A Michael or something.
Yeah, like you just got all the money.
I'm trying to think.
I'm thinking Cyberpunk.
Really?
If you're successful. You will die eventually. They all die. Legends all die in Cyberpunk. That's what they say. But you get sick-ass cyber upgrades to yourself. Like, you can jump high. You can punch shit. Like, punch a brick wall and it falls apart. You can fucking scan shit. Like, have crazy eyesight. Like, you can just upgrade your body any way you want to do anything you want. And you run shit on the streets. You're making millions. Dirty money, but you're making millions.
What if I said Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2005?
That's a good shout.
And I'm just Tiger Woods in his prime fucking Tiger. Ripping bangers and fucking hoes, apparently, and getting bitches. But, I mean, if I that's my, non-serious answer, but I think my serious answer is actually Schedule 1.
Nice. Yeah, you just running a drug op. It's like Breaking
Schedule
Bad.
1?
Yeah, it's like Breaking Bad.
My answer is Schedule 1, and it shouldn't count in my book, but also nod to just being Tiger Woods from PGA Tour 2004, literally named after him.
Would you want to be the Tarnished?
No, I initially thought that, but fuck no.
Yeah, dude,
are you shitting me? I have to die
suck.
200 times? Like,
oh yeah, dude, that would suck. You gotta fight every boss.
I'm getting Dormammu'd. I'm getting fucking Dormammu'd and fucking having to fight this tree sentinel, not knowing I'm not supposed to.
Dude, I watched that the other night. I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
Oh, the first Doctor Strange.
I've come to bargain. It's like 1,000 ways to
That's
die.
funny. Yeah, it is. He just comes each time and he just
Yeah.
dies in different ways. Yeah, that's a good movie, bro.
Yeah,
We
but
watched that not too long ago either.
I'm trying to think of what we left out that would be like sick, just to be the guy in
Maybe
that universe.
Borderlands.
Yeah, yeah. You and
Borderlands
your
would be pretty
squad,
cool.
just you and the homies going
Well,
around the Borderlands.
I like can only think of shooters. Like I feel like I'm fucked up. Like why am I playing so
Skyrim.
much shooters? Any other non-shooters are miserable lives though. You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
know,
Like
bro. It's all like one man army shit.
I'm
Like
gonna
you
be
really gotta
Joel.
go through it.
Like
Oh fuck.
that would
Hell
suck.
no. His daughter
Yeah, that's what I'm
died.
saying. Yeah, and then he dies. Like what do you mean? Like
His daughter died in the dumbest way.
yeah, it was so
Some
dumb,
dipshit
bro.
guard was
So
trigger
dumb.
happy. Like,
Stop! Where are you going? She's sick. He's carrying her. She's
Yeah.
fucking hurt.
yeah,
And
like
she's
they look like a threat.
Yeah, he's
Oh man,
insane.
bro was tweaking. That was probably the rookie in the.
We're probably leaving out some like good ass answers,
Yeah.
but all I could think of was Schedule 1 and Tiger Woods. So that's.
But just
that's
think
what
of
we're going
Cyberpunk.
with.
Cyberpunk's my answer because you can just like cyber
Yeah.
upgrade your whole body. You get
And
sick
you're not
cars.
in that like everyone trying to kill you at all time vibe. You
Yeah.
know, like it's not like that. Like you're
Yeah.
being hunted, but you
It's
are.
like, it's like gang shit.
You're violent. Yeah, you're in a violent life,
Yeah.
but it's not like I'm being hunted 24/7 or I'm the villain of a fucking massive army or something.
God from a different universe that could literally
Yes.
wipe out the entire planet is after you. You know, it's not a bad
Kratos?
life. It's not a bad life. Oh, Kratos. Yeah, that'd be tough.
That would suck.
Yeah.
That would suck.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
all right, that's a good
little
question.
thought.
Did you see that somewhere, or did you think of that yourself?
I probably saw it somewhere a long time ago, but I just thought of it.
But it came to mind.
Yeah, it came to mind.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, well, let's get into some COD here. We're gonna go through this past weekend very quickly, and then take a look ahead. But we had some storylines that we have not covered since the last episode. Obviously, Merc to OpTic is the huge thing here. On the front page, it shows him as the player of the week on Breaking Point, 1.4 KD so far through the stage. We'll get into here in some of these OpTic matches, but everyone is thinking that he's like the next up.
Yeah.
And there's specific things about his gameplay that just really, really wow you as a spectator, especially if you know what's going on, like in depth. The way that he plays his life, his comms are very, very calm, which with someone like Hook on your team is good to be, right? We know Shotzi likes to go silent at times, but that's because he's the dude making the plays, which can afford to sometimes.
Mhm.
We know Dashy's not loud or outspoken, but he says what's necessary, and Hook is a motor mouth. So he slots in the comms very, very good, plays his life well, and he's fucking shooting.
Yeah.
And so now the question is, like, do OpTic have that ability to transition into making a Sunday? And obviously their best placing this year is top 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is crazy to say. So this is definitely a woe period, as it has been for OpTic, and now it's looking up with Merc coming into the roster.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's just going to come down to their S&D because their respawns are already looking pretty good. They're only going to get better, and S&D is really where they got to improve.
Yeah, absolutely. They lost their first match of the weekend to Boston Map 5, losing both of the S&Ds, and honestly, they could have won some of the respawns. So
Yeah.
Or the other respawn rather, Control.
Yeah.
Or did they lose one of the
I
hard
think
points?
they
I can't
lost
remember.
map 1 and then map 2 and
And-
then they got 3 and 4 and then they lost map 5.
That's right. So they definitely could have won the map 1 hard point.
I think it was just first map jitters.
But it was almost a reverse sweep.
Yeah.
Well, first match jitters for who? Not Merc.
Yeah, not Merc, I guess, but just
wasn't
like as
first
a
match
team,
jitters
it
for
was their
Merc?
first map playing together. Maybe
Yeah.
they trolled a little bit.
And losing both S&Ds, Merc said it himself on his initial sit down that
Mhm.
whenever he slotted into Toronto, he said Search is going to be the toughest game mode because it's a lot of chemistry.
Yeah.
And so I was expecting our S&D to be the worst thing there.
Mhm.
They end up losing both the S&Ds, and then their second match of the weekend, they looked way better in S&D. So it was definitely went up, and then obviously They have some matches to close out the season here. But yeah, Merc is looking really good. We'll dive into some of these matches that happened this last weekend. Let me pull them up here. Completed. Hate this freaking.
And we didn't go over
All right.
last weekend.
Do you want to?
Just some of these, like Vancouver FaZe 3-2. That was a good series. That was what started the weekend.
Yeah. So we also had Miami, Toronto. Oh wait, that's Sunday.
Yeah, Friday, May 2nd.
Yeah. So they ended off as the Surge were playing in the finals against Thieves at the major, and then turn around and our first up against FaZe. FaZe took that one, map 5. Ultra 3-0 the Ravens, and then C9 New York, who's got a new look with Capsule and Spart in place of Attach and Mac. 3-0 the Falcons and some quick work.
Oh yeah, so we haven't really talked about C9 since the change.
Uh-uh.
How do you feel about them?
I do. I mean, it's definitely an upgrade, in my opinion. In a game where pace is very important, they got 2 more people with good pace. So, and obviously, you look back at when Capsule was really good. It was on that Boston team in Vanguard, where it was very, very W key heavy because of the fast kill time. Maps like Bow Cage, and other maps like that. Obviously, you had like Gavatu in there, but like Tuscan and Bow Cage were huge W key maps where he was able to excel. And then we get another game like that. Obviously, MW2 and MW3 were definitely not. So another game like this comes along, and Capsule has proven a really, really good player. So
yeah, they should have done this a full split ago, not now, and they actually could have been in the running for champs.
Absolutely.
I mean, everyone was saying it last split, and I think they trialed people like Pred and apparently when they dropped
they could have had a chance to put themselves in a position to make champs if they did make that change earlier. So, now it's just between pretty much Rocker and OpTic on who gets that last spot.
Yeah.
Cloud9 are going to have to win out probably and make a crazy run, hoping that both of them get eliminated early. So they're have a very low chance of making it, but it is still possible, know. So, and then Falcons go back to back, starting off that Saturday match against the Rocker. So another huge champs. This has champs riding on it for Rocker, and they actually fall to what should be one of the easier matches on their schedule. They fall map 5 to the Rocker, so tough scenes for them. Very curious as to, depending on this major, if they make any sort of change before EWC. Because, people see, following champs between EWC. We saw Omit do it, or Boston technically do it with that Omit roster. People make changes for EWC, keep that roster depending on how they look going into the following year. So we'll see what that looks like for them. But obviously they're still fighting to make champs.
Man, I think Rocker are getting worse. They're just...
Yeah.
They're not icing up still.
It sucks because Kenny's obviously playing better than when he was on OpTic. And I think Geo and Estriel are really good. Nero just has not been good. And he's never been a consistent player. And his peaks he's just not hitting those high peaks like he would whenever he's inconsistent. So
Carolina 3-0ing Boston is sickening for Boston.
Yeah, this was sickening, especially coming off of the OpTic win.
Oh no, that was
that's the next week. Yeah, so Merc, this is Skies still is still on the roster technically at this point when this match is happening. So Ravens, coming off a disappointing finish. Obviously, they picked up Rex, had to pay Thieves online, and then Thieves at the major, and they bowed out. But Dylan Rex has actually had a pretty good series, I believe.
He went crazy series.
Let me double check here. Yeah, he had a 1.35 in this series, making slight work of Boston. Obviously, we see Boston beat some good teams online, and I think this is just a matchup diff for them because when it comes to teamwork, I'd say that these two teams are pretty good at remembering to have that teamwork. And I'm taking Slasher every time.
Okay, so. Even though they got 3-0'd, was this the Cammy 1v5 in control map?
Yes, this was the Cammy 1v5 in control map. It was insane. B point on Hacienda 1v5 and he clutched up. It was actually crazy, and they still lost the map. So And then we get into definitely one of the more surprising matches of the weekend. OpTic going up against Vancouver, who are streaking hot, coming
Mm-hmm.
off of back-to-back finals. OpTic 3-0s them, and this is with Skies on their team. So Merc has still not been picked up yet. Skies is on the team, and it's a red carpet versus a green carpet in this one here. So this was just a funky one. I was golfing, I believe, during this and was like, am I seeing this right?
Yeah.
So it was definitely a weird one to see. But OpTic took the 3-0, which is huge to keep that margin between them and Rocker going.
Did you hear Nasty's interview?
No.
He just said that they've been playing way too much since the major. Like, they didn't take any days off, and they were just burnt the fuck out. So after this, they took a day off or whatever, and just took some time, and then got back on their shit the following weekend.
Yeah. And then we have Miami Heretics taking on the LA Thieves, and Miami were actually able to take this one 3-2.
Vamos.
And this came down to Miami just being a better search team on that day.
Yeah.
Obviously, Super being a really, really good player for them, 12-5 in the map 2, and then 16-4 in the map 5. So he had 28 kills over 2 maps in one series. And if that's the case, you should win both of those S&Ds.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's just probably one of the best S&D players in the game right now, probably arguably the best based on strictly numbers. So yeah, they were able to carve out that win in double S&D
Does
fashion,
he have an actual case for Rookie of the Year?
I don't think so,
don't
just
think
because
so
of tenure.
Yeah.
I think the tenure is a big fact. But because they're also still, he's played, one LAN. Granted, they did place pretty well at it. I just think, the length of play throughout the year. It shouldn't go to him.
I agree. It's probably going to go to Rencor.
Right. I think Rencor is definitely in the lead right
now. Give
it
to Merc.
Hey, there's a chance, right?
What if he wins the major?
Goes crazy and wins the major, there's definitely a case for him to be in there, and he's the MVP of the major. So they do it before champs, so his champs performance is not gonna play into it. So, but this is what's so weird about Miami. They beat Thieves map 5, and then they go map 5 against Gentlemates. And I'm pretty sure they lost both hard points in this match as well. Yes, they did. So they definitely have some work to do when it comes to the hard point. But their search is looking really good right now, and search definitely gets you far in tournaments, just needing to win one other mode. But they're going to have to brush up on that against the top teams to be able to do that, because obviously they took the control against Thieves. No. They took one of the hard points against Thieves.
Thieves control is incredible.
Yeah, they're unkillable in that game mode. So, and then we get into Toronto Ultra versus C9 New York. So this was kind of one of their real tests going up here as a new squad. And they went down 3-1 here. Other than the map 1, kind of close. I guess both hard points were somewhat close, but in these games,
it didn't feel close.
40-50.
They were getting shit on the next 3 maps after map 1.
Yeah, Capsule the only one positive on the side of Cloud9, and Toronto. Kleenex just had a crazy day with a 1.19 and over 100 kills. He looked really, really good on the map, and so it's kind of dangerous to see him back into form. So we'll see what they're able to do coming up here. And then we have the Atlanta FaZe versus LA Thieves. We thought this was going to be a banger, as always, but Atlanta FaZe able to take this one 3-0. The only close map was the map 2 dealership. FaZe took it 6-4. They doubled their points in the hard point and 3-1'd them in the control. So this was just clinical out of the side of Atlanta FaZe. Just making it look easy. Celium almost had a 2 KD. It was insane. So Cell's definitely probably my vote for MVP this year. I saw Maven's vote was Simp. And I was like, what? What? Simp?
Dude, when they were doing bad and everyone was like, Celium needs to pick up his pace, he started picking up his pace, and that team has been fucking insane ever since. He's everything for them.
The only thing you could say for Simp is that 1v4 against Miami may have cured some of that as well.
Yeah, I mean, Simp's been playing good, don't get me wrong, but Celium's just been like everything in all the big series, I feel like.
I've seen Simp have a couple, some stinkers. I've never seen Cell have a stinker.
Yeah.
So, But yeah, that was the last match on the past weekend. And so getting into this last weekend, aka the weekend that Merc actually came to OpTic, we started out with Miami Heretics going up against the Vegas
It's
Falcons.
good.
Miami 3-1 them. And then, like I mentioned earlier, Boston Breach 3-2ing OpTic Texas. We touched on it mainly earlier, but if you look at the stats here, just to show, this is Merc's debut, and he comes out and drops 100 kills in a 1.33,
God.
looking very comfortable on the map. And so, I mean, it was just our S&Ds in this. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Shotzi's the only one negative at a 0.99 with a 1 kill differential
Shots even at
because
2 and 7
they
map too.
and we lost both the hard points,
Yeah.
right? So
Or just the first
pretty
one.
still. I mean, both the searches.
Yeah.
Sorry. And so it's tough. They also kind of trolled on the map one. They definitely could have won it. And then they looked really good on that skyline. That skyline hard point was where we were like, oh my god, look at
Yeah.
Merc moving on the map,
Yeah.
playing his life and whatnot. So rewind definitely a strong map for us now. Seeing what that Merc change does to the map pool is going to be very interesting too, because it always changes with a new player, and especially if that player changes your pace as a team.
Yeah.
And in the last match on Friday, we had C9 New York 3-1ing Atlanta FaZe. So got some crazy stuff going on right now.
Yeah.
We got FaZe 3-0ing LA Thieves, and then losing to Cloud9, and then we've got FaZe losing to Miami, and a bunch of stuff going on, and then OpTic 3-0ing with Skies against Vancouver. It's just a crazy stuff going on right now.
Yeah.
But again, the hard points came to haunt FaZe in this match. I think the Skyline is definitely a good pick for Cloud9 with that pace. And then they took the Rewind, which has a little bit more AR presence, a little slower pace, except for maybe P1 and P5, but they were just able to lock down those rotations, not flip out the spawns on the P4, and take that Rewind. And it was a great series out of Crimp, kind of carrying. Obviously, in the damage department, everyone was showing up, but he's the only one positive. They get it done. The map won. Everyone was negative for the side of C9 New York, but they took the dub.
Yeah.
They were playing together as a team and filling in the right lane. So impressive win from C9 New York that pushed them to that 2-1 or 2-2 record. Or no, 2-1, because they come out and play Miami the next day. This is what I'm saying. They beat FaZe, and then they play Miami and get 3-1'd.
They have an absolute gauntlet schedule, dude.
Yes.
I feel bad for them.
And so Miami's able to take that one 3-1, only dropping the first hard point. And then we get into the Gentlemates versus Rocker series. So obviously Rocker losing to the Falcons, not helping their champs case, and they get another what should be easy opponent, even though it is the Rocker as it showed in this match. They win 3-2 in a round 10 search. So they finally evaded that round 11 and got the dub, and won maps 1-3-5. And that Skyline hardpoint was pretty mixy, and they lose the map 2 round 11.
And this
so it was a very, very
11. I feel like
oh yeah, absolutely.
I forget what happened in round 10, but there was like a mega troll from LAG where they could have had a big opportunity and fucked up.
Yeah. Well, to go to 5-4 from the 5-3 round, they were pushing B on Rewind, and Nero was trying to nade over the wall, like over to court, and then another nade came in and blew up his nade, and it killed him and a teammate, and it was like, oh no, we're going 5. Like, it's just bad omen. But yeah. Then the games start to get real boring from here on out. Every match after this is a 3-0. The Thieves 3-0 Falcons in easy style. And then OpTic Texas come out and 3-0 the Royal Ravens, making it look clean. And so, as you can see here, again, Mercules having a crazy series, 65 and 43, 1.5, 1,000 damage more than the next person in the lobby. And this one, again, this is where our search looked really, really good. Being able to take that dealership. Obviously, it's just one map, but you could just tell that they were working on it. Hook pulled out a crazy wallbang spot on this one to get a player off of the B bomb from mid through a huge brick wall, because walls aren't walls in this game, and so we're just kind of cruising.
And they were down 3-0 in this search, OpTic was. So
yeah,
I thought it was looking bad for a second. I was like, damn, we still don't have S&D figured out. And then they just started
it was slow.
rolling.
Yeah, it looked pretty slow at first. Carolina is a good search team, but they were able to string some matches together. Shotzi had a great 1v2 from the vent on A site, and it worked out for them. So, again, all 3-0s here for the rest of it. The Surge 3-0 Boston Breach. Like, this is what I'm saying, man. We 3-0 the Surge with Skies. Then Merc comes in. We lose to Boston, map 5. And then Vancouver turn around 3-0 Boston. So it's just a shit show here. And then the next two series went about as expected. FaZe 3-0 the Gentlemates. And Rocker 3-0 the Ultra. So again, Rocker in a tough position, man. Starting 1-2, trying to close that gap on OpTic, who's 2-1.
I think they're cooked. I think it's up to C9. They're the only team that I could see upsetting someone out of them and Rocker. I don't know if Rocker's gonna upset anyone at the major.
Let's look at the standings here real quick for Major 3, 4. Wait, 3, right?
4.
Fuck. Major 4. So we got Miami in first, Toronto and FaZe at second with 30 map count matters. So Toronto in second, FaZe in third, OpTic in fourth with 20, Cloud9 in fifth with 20, LA Thieves, Vancouver, Carolina, Minnesota, Boston, Vegas all have one match win, and then Gentlemates 0-3. It's very, very weird seeing LA Thieves and Vancouver down there with that bunch. So we'll see how the rest of these matches play out.
I think C9 has to play Thieves last. That's their last match for the split.
Oh.
Yeah.
So keep in mind there's only 5 matches being played. So Miami's got 1 more. Toronto's got 2 more. FaZe has 1 more. OpTic has 2 more. Cloud9 has 1 more. And then Thieves, Surge, Ravens, Rocker, Breach have 2 more. Vegas have 1 more, and Gentlemates have 2 more. So let's take a look at these upcoming matches here this weekend and see what we're talking about here. So, kicking us off with OpTic versus Gentlemates. This should be a 3-0, but obviously we're seeing some crazy shit going on right now. But based on OpTic's current form and the confidence that they look like they have with Merc, this should be a 3-0.
Okay, Ravens Rocker intrigues me.
Very much so, but I just think this could also be a 3-0. Maybe a mixy hard point for Rocker. They can take 1, but I just think you just look at the camp, and it's just Rocker have no ice. Carolina have Slasher and TJ, who they have the Iceman Tej. So I just think this is just a battle of ice. And
I don't think it's a 3-map series though. Because Rocker always extend the series.
They could, but I'm gonna go Ravens. Literally 3-0, 3-1, 3-2, but Ravens. Then we got Breach Thieves. I mean,
3-0.
Breach,
this is Thieves.
It better be a 3-0.
Thieves are gonna shit on them bad.
That's true. Breach and Ravens, they always order. Okay. Then we got Falcons versus FaZe. That should be a quick 3-0. Then we got C9 New York, like you mentioned. That should be an interesting one because obviously C9 just took down FaZe. Looks like they're getting better with each match they play. And obviously FaZe is not an easy team to beat, whether it's LAN or online. So Thieves sitting at 1-2. If they lose this, they could see themselves falling into the losers bracket.
Yeah, that'd be nuts.
Which would be crazy.
Yeah.
And then we got Miami going up against the Ravens. I think Miami's S&D obviously is just too good right now, and they're in form. I could see them maybe dropping a hard point just because of the woes that they're having in that map, in that game mode. But I'm taking Miami here.
Yeah, me too.
Hopefully, what looks like on paper to be a really good match, we got Toronto Ultra versus Vancouver Surge. If that day break did serve them well, I kind of want to take Vancouver here. I think they're going to 3-1 lose the search.
I got to take Ultra. I feel like they're just nuts right now. CleanX is going to have a day.
All right, we'll see if they can keep that pace there. And then on Sunday, last matches of Major 4 qualifiers. we have the Gentlemates versus the Boston Breach.
Honk shoe.
This is a snoozer. This is one of those matches where Boston Breaches kind of just plays to their competition. Like they do it with good teams, and they're probably going to do it with a bad team here. I got Boston taking it.
3-1.
Yeah, I was saying 3-1 or 3-2. Because Gentlemates did take both of those hard
Dude,
points against.
they'll take random ass maps that you don't expect them
know.
to win. Like they won map 1 versus Miami last week.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Then we got a banger here, hopefully. Toronto Ultra going up against OpTic Texas. Obviously, riding the Merc high. I'm going to take OpTic here. 3-0.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
3-0? Okay.
Yeah. OpTic 3-0.
Yeah, no, I don't know, man. I think Toronto's in form right now. They're nuts. I'm going to go Toronto again. Humble us before the major.
And then we got Minnesota Rocker going up against the Vancouver Surge. Taking Surge because Rocker stink.
Mm-hmm. That could be a 3-0 for Rocker.
So obviously, 3 wins pretty much guarantees it guarantees your winner's bracket here, unless some crazy shit happens. But pretty much 3 wins is going to guarantee your winner's bracket. So OpTic just need to win 1 more to guarantee themselves winner's bracket. Miami is locked in winner's bracket. Toronto is locked in winner's bracket. FaZe are locked in winner's bracket. Everyone else has a chance to, and yeah, I said Toronto, perfect. Everyone else has a chance to either win 2 in a row and end up in winners, or lose 1 and see how the map win ratio plays out if they get slotted in, or the head to head. We're gonna have a lot of tie breaking here to do. So
for sure,
we'll see. But we got Major 4 right around the corner after this weekend. Me and D Woody will fucking be there. Fortunately, none of the boys can fucking go.
So Red not coming.
Nah, he'll be out of town.
Damn.
Unfortunately. But we'll be at DreamHack. We're gonna be watching some COD, watching some Halo. Gonna be a freaking great time, man. I can't freaking wait. But yeah, we'll see if we can take some pics and put it on the podcast after or something. But regardless, it's time for some Rocket League.
Yes, sir. Rocket. NA Open 5 happened. The qualifiers were absolutely fucking insane. So this time around for this major, they're doing qualifiers like in the middle of the week, and then the Open is like that weekend. So kind of weird. And there's 2 different groups of Swiss going on. And we got some interesting things here. So 9 Lives went 1-3 after. Let's see what they got last Open real quick, because I mean they should have been in the running for top 4. I think they got top 6 at this. Yeah. Top 8. Top 8.
Top 8.
Yeah. So they got top 8, and they're a good team. And last time around, before the first major, they were doing pretty good, but they were very inconsistent. So they dropped Kofer and picked up old Zanil. That's right. And did good last major, or last Open, I mean. And then they come out here and go 1-3 to like no-name teams, bro. They lost to CMK, who didn't make it in Swiss. LSR, who didn't make it in Swiss. They beat the fuck out of Zookeepers. I don't know who that is, but that's sad. And then SimTalk. I mean, they were just losing to bubble teams this whole qualifier. So Chicago tweeted, absolutely embarrassing. I'm sorry. People are saying Chicago might retire. It's looking bad, man. They might go outside. So that was shocking. But on their side of the groups, in this spot where they probably should have been, was Lil Step Bros, which is Alpha Kep's team.
Oh, yeah.
Alpha Kep qualled in crazy fashion. Lots of 3-2s here. And then they close out Nether Lamera, Canada, 3-0. So props to Alpha Kep and T. Corell and the boys. That's insane. Other than that, everyone who should have made it, made it. Schnitzel House, which is Lion Blaze's new team, they went 3-0. It's Lion Blaze, Peasy, and Punda. And yeah, they went 3-0. Looked really good doing it. They beat Complexity and NRG. So crazy out of them. Gen G still looks absolutely insane, going 3-0 in Swiss. Reddles and the boys 3-0 to Alpha Kep, and then 3-1 GAC. Lost 1-3 to Space Station, which Space Station looks nuts right now too. And then Pirates on a Boat, they beat 3-2, which is a good win for Shopify. Pirates on a Boat's a solid team. So they looked good. Other side, we got deleted. Team Evo back in the mix. You know, those are some top 8 grinders. So everyone made it. It was looking good. Moving into bracket play, Shopify got 3-0'd by the boys. The boys is a solid team, and they had a really good run this tournament. It's Aqua, Percy, and Evo. A really good team. They're just players that have kind of bounced around top 8-ish, you know, here and there, but they put it together and made a good run here. 3-0ing Reddles. And then Schnitzelhaus, they beat 3-2. So the boys qualified 2-0. Easy.
Nice.
Schnitzelhaus 3-2'd Pirates on a Boat. That's a good matchup. And then obviously lost. Gen G 3-1 deleted and then got destroyed by NRG. NRG 3-0'd SimTalk. This was the only map NRG dropped the whole tourney. 3-1 to Gen G.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. So that was nuts.
The whole tourney. Oh my God.
Reddles 3-1 to Pirates on a Boat. That ended their run. Rip. Gen G 3-0 Poab. They move on. Schnitzelhaus 3-1 deleted after deleted 3-0'd SimTalk. Solid side over there. These are our qualifying teams. Space Station 3-0. Space Station 3-2 over Complexity. These are going to be major teams. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
That's a good matchup. Strictly Business also looked good this tournament. We'll get into them in a little bit. The Ultimates, apparently LJ's internet went out, so they had to forfeit versus Alpha Kep. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I don't know about that. And they also fucked shit up by doing that in the bracket. And they dropped to lowers and had to play Gen G, but Gen G won that. So cool. Team Evo 3-0'd SOS and then 3-2 to Alpha Kep. That was a good series. And then Alpha Kep had to play Strictly Business. They got absolutely shit pumped. Map 1 6-0. Not a good way to start. And then they fought, but they lost 3-1. So shout out Kep. He got all the way down here to almost qualifying for Sunday. That's impressive. Good job, boys.
It is.
3-0 from Ultimates to SOS and then 3-2 versus Complexity. Great series. That ended Complexity's run. That's tough. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? The Ultimates should have never been right here.
No, yeah, Ultimates, they should have played Evo.
I think they're trolling.
I
think they're trolling. Yeah. I don't know about this.
We'll see.
Because it had to be against Keps. Yeah, I don't know about that. NRG 4-0ing Evo on Sunday. Space Station 4-0ing the boys on Sunday. Both of these teams look insane right now. Strictly Business 4-0'd Schnitzelhaus. That was tough. I thought Schnitzelhaus was going to come out with some juice, and this is where their run ended.
Strictly
Business. Gen G 4-2'd versus the Ultimates. We watched this series. It was a good series.
Yeah,
good series.
It was.
Yeah,
it was a really
Gen
good series.
G not electing to take a timeout. Map 6. They just said throw us in there.
They just put it on table.
They just said throw us in there, and they won in overtime in 5 seconds.
Yeah,
Lovely.
that was crazy. First killer fucked up hard.
Yeah. And then the boys, 4-3 Gen G. That was a crazy series. This is where I was like, okay, the boys are kind of gross. Aqua had a good interview just talking about, you know, they ain't scared of these fucking teams with big names on them and shit, and they're not even that hard to play. He said NRG's not even that hard. People just get scared of them.
Damn. Okay, I like that. All right,
okay.
Aqua.
Well, they got swiftly 4-0'd after that. So, So say what
it took
you want.
them a couple maps to get there. They almost they lost by 1 those last 2 in OT.
Say what you want though. But they got 4-0'd. And then Space Station 4-0'd Strictly Business. They're just young and cracked, bro. They're gonna be nuts in the next few years. So they're fun to watch. And then NRG said, "Give me that shit." 4-0. Dropping 1 map the entire fucking tournament.
That's a record, right?
And that's a record. They had an insane win
crazy.
rate. I think the record before was 3 maps dropped from a goated NRG team with Garrett G and Justin
and Squish.
Yeah. So
damn.
Yeah.
NRG
is in form. Beast Mode topped the charts of stats this tournament. Beast Mode's back after a poor performance at the major. He's back. And
that's good.
Yeah, NRG on top. So let's take a look at the standings with 1 open remaining before the major.
Rankings top.
Yeah. Complexity just outside the top 4. That's tough.
Ooh, they have a chance.
NRG has clinched already. The Ultimates are there. They're going to be there. Gen G is looking solid. Gen G's looking consistent and solid, so I think they're there for sure. It's going to be up to Complexity and SSG next time. Look at 9 Lives, man. They were right there.
That's tough.
All
That's
they
a
had
big
to
gap.
do was qual.
It's a big gap.
All they had to do was win Swiss, and they would have been in the conversation. That's tough.
Yep.
That's tough.
Yeah, it's...
So, yeah, Complexity, man. This is just so crazy that we only take 4 teams nowadays. It used to be 5.
Yeah.
I mean, they need to be at the major. This is a good team that could upset someone.
They have a chance. They do.
They
gotta do it.
I want all 5 of these teams in.
Yeah.
Looking at Europe, nipping at the heels of GK.
Nipping at the heels.
Not really, though. They're 8 points behind. But, yeah, this looks pretty locked up. Shout out, apparently, Jack on Dignitas. Vitality's looking good. Carmine is still dominant. And then Wild Card in Oceania. That's Amaranth's org.
Oh, yeah. They're going crazy.
Yeah, they're nuts over there. They got that locked up.
Damn.
Falcons, of course. Twisted Minds will be there, too. And then there's not even a competition after that. Furia's got this region locked up. Team Secret's all right. They're always up there with them. And then Asia Pacific, Luminosity.
Is LG?
Shit. They run shit over there. Oh,
okay.
And don't forget Sub-Saharan Africa.
Sub-Saharan Africa.
Foot. Who's on Foot? VK Salen. I know that dude.
I feel like I know Torres for some reason. They got 2 Pablos.
Everyone plays in different regions nowadays, so it's probably a bunch of EU people and shit in random regions. Yeah. Sphinx is the keyboarder.
Is that Canada? Is Sosa Canada?
Yeah, he's a North American
the heck?
guy. He used to be on Koi in North America when they were decent. Sphinx, I think he's a keyboarder, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think he's a mouse and key guy. And he's nuts. He does everything for them. And then he's on Secret now. Oh, KV1 and Swift. Yeah, they're solid South American players. So it's looking crazy. It's looking crazy. This has got to be the top 4.
One more open?
Yeah, one more open. Let's see when that is. Raleigh. We're coming to the States, baby. That's even the more reason for NRG to win it. Raleigh Major? No.
Yeah. Go to major rankings, maybe?
Let's just go back. Open 6.
Huh.
Starts May 18th. Swiss starts May 18th. So 5 days.
So, Saturday.
Yeah. And then the playoffs are the 24th. So that's DreamHack
Sunday.
weekend. DreamHack weekend is the open.
Oh, bet. Sweet.
Yeah. So this will be good. Look at all these unqualified positions here. Oh boy. So
so many locked up.
Top 8 from last open auto qual, I guess. Oh no, that's top 32. Okay.
Huh. Okay.
That was Rocketa.
All right. Let's go ahead and put a bow on episode 63 with our coin segment Pick and Bans. All right. As you know, Pick and Bans is where me and Dak pick and ban something from recency and dwell on it. I'll go ahead and get us started. My pick is the Fallout TV show. Season 2 has wrapped filming, and before they even put it out and saw feedback, it got renewed for season 3.
Hell yeah.
And season 1 was some of the best TV I've watched in a while. I thoroughly loved that show.
Yeah.
So I'm super pumped for season 2, and then obviously now season 3. So that's a big W.
And I saw season 2. They're going to Vegas, New Vegas.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
That's my favorite game of Fallout series.
I need to watch through some highlights because I randomly played them growing up, and obviously Fallout 4 came out 6 years ago or something like that. I didn't play it. I watched a little bit of it, but I know what it is and I know some of the lore. But I need to know more about the New Vegas and
New Vegas is so dope story wise.
So is New Vegas a prequel?
I don't know, actually. I think it was just a side game in the universe.
Oh, okay. So it's not like they're going chronological by the video games?
No,
okay.
I don't think the video games are the same person every time.
I also don't think they're following. Okay, so there's not
not
a storyline.
They're making their own story with her that kind of follows the game.
Sure.
It goes game to game. Okay.
Gotcha.
But yeah, great series. I can't wait.
Yes, sir.
My pick is the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yep.
All they got to do is beat the Nuggets, and I think they're home free. This is the test series for sure.
Jokic, and then especially if Tatum doesn't come back, bro, y'all can.
Yeah. See, I was most scared of the Celtics this whole time. I was like, we're probably just gonna get to the finals and get shit on by Boston. And now Boston's dead. The Knicks are killing
Boston's
them.
dead. Knicks are killing them.
Listen, I'm a Tatum hater, but it's sad.
I am too.
That sucks.
Yeah,
Sucks.
I never wish injury.
Yeah, that
but I am a Tatum hater.
Yeah, that
just
blows.
his lack of aura.
Yeah, he's just not himself. He's like cosplaying as an NBA superstar, I feel like. But
yeah, no, he's just a star.
But yeah, no, but you hate to see him get hurt like that. And now the Celtics season is dead, and the Knicks, they're probably moving on. Versus the Pacers.
Probably moving on.
The Cavs and the Celtics die in round 2. That's crazy.
Cavs aren't dead yet, but
they're dead. It's 3.
But they're dead.
Is it 3-1 in that series? I think it's 3-1.
I think it's 2-2. No.
I don't think so. I don't know.
Well, my ban is Hackers. First off, apparently they're running rampant in Warzone ranked play. Like if you're anything above, if you're plat or better, like it's every game type shit. So that's unfortunate. But the good thing about it being rampant in Warzone is that it probably brings attention to the higher ups more if it's affecting Warzone because they have way more of a player base in my opinion than multiplayer. But like I was just watching COD videos today and I just want to get home and play some ranked. Like I don't even care if I lose. I just want to get home and play, but I can't because I'm getting hacked on it and it's not even fun.
Yeah.
And I just want to play and just like get reps and shoot those guns in a competitive game mode. I don't care if I win or lose. I don't care if I'm plat or iridescent. I just want to come home and play in that setting and I just can't. Like, dude, I'm going to try to later, but I'm just going to probably play 2 games and get yacked on.
Yeah, that, and we got absolutely yacked on in a fucking Marvel Rivals lobby the other day.
That too. Fucking Hawkeye was absolutely shitting the entire game, and we were kind of half trolling at first that he was cheating, and then you died in that invis of Psylocke, and then we were like, whoa, and then we reported him, and we got a message that he was banned till 21-25, so...
Good job,
that was a big W.
That was an instant 100-year ban. You love to see it. Nah, deadass. I was invisible as Psylocke. No one can see you unless you take damage, but I wasn't taking damage. I was behind them. And then he's hella at the time. Bro's facing forward, and then he like sees me in the corner of his eye and just turns and looks at me dead in the face while I'm invisible.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And that was when I was like, okay, I'm actually gonna report this guy. And I got hacked on in CS2 the other day.
That's normal.
Yeah, but this dude went 42-1 with a deagle, and the only reason we killed him one time is because his teammates trapped him in a corner, and they were like, come kill him.
I remember that. Yeah. I was in Discord when that happened.
So that shit was crazy too, bro. It's just every game, just an issue.
It's running rampant, man. All right, what's your ban?
Yeah, my ban still on the NBA. They rigged the fuck out of the lottery, so the Thunder got fucked.
I should have picked that as my pick.
First of all, the Mavs got the number 1 pick against all odds. They barely lost in the play-in game.
1.8% chance.
So that was crazy. Now they're going to get Cooper Flag to make up for the Luka trade. You can't tell me the NBA didn't do that on purpose.
I hold on. Trading him is not off the table. Trading the number 1 pick is not off the table.
Dude, they're picking up Cooper Flag. That dude's a...
I mean, yeah, but we have Nico and we traded away Luka.
Oh yeah, no. But I'm telling you, this is part of the Luka trade. They're like,
I know.
Send him to the biggest market, and then we'll give you Cooper Flag in return.
It still doesn't explain his dumbass answers in the media, though. No, Nico Anderson.
Not at all.
Doesn't explain that whatsoever.
No, he's an idiot.
Exactly. It's on the table. Even people on TV are saying it.
On top of that, the Thunder get the 76ers pick if they fall outside of the top 6, and they had crazy odds to even get within the top 6, and they got within the top 6.
They got third.
Yeah, so I think I saw a tweet. Tough. A tweet said the odds of both of those things happening were like 0.0014% or some shit. So
Oh
like,
my
it's just
god,
insane.
that's insane. That's like 1 in 100K
Yeah. So
of happening.
so I don't know, man. I think it's rigged
No,
for
yeah, that's definitely
ratings
it's
or
definitely
views.
sus. It's definitely sus for sure.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm not complaining. Go Mavs.
Yeah.
You know what I was
I
saying?
mean, I like seeing the
If
Mavs
Kyrie, if we do pick Cooper Flag and
and AD.
Kyrie's not hurt forever, bro, we're gonna have Kyrie, Cooper Flag, AD, Klay Thompson, and
Gafford,
Daniel Gafford, bro.
Arkansas native.
We're gonna be good if that's the case. But obviously, with Kyrie and AD in the lineup, bro, that's 30 games combined
Yeah.
played. So
Yeah.
who knows? Who knows? But that's going to conclude episode 63, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to help the channel grow. And we'll see y'all in episode 64. Deuces.